We are a mess tonight on the technical side of things. Sorry about that. But welcome everyone to a brand new year of the Dread broadcast. I'm Tim.
And I'm Jonathan. It's January 31st, 2026. And if you can hear our voices, you found your way to our monthly gathering, a place where we stop looking over our shoulders and start looking directly into the dark.
And for those of you joining us for the first time, welcome to the fold. That's really what the Dread broadcast is all about. Once a month, we pull back the curtain and bring together content creators from every corner of the internet, from the depths of YouTube to the front lines of social media, who live and breathe the macabre.
Think of us as the ultimate after-hours pub meetup. We've all finished our own shows, we filed our reviews, and now we're just hanging out to celebrate the genre we love with the people who love it most. You.
It's a massive hangout with fans and a chance to discover your next favorite creator. We always hope that you come for one of us, but leave checking out at least two more. This community is only as strong as the blood we spill together.
Tonight, that blood bond is focused on the horizon. Tonight isn't just about what kept us up last month, it's about what's going to keep us awake for the rest of the year.
Exactly. We're breaking down the roadmap for the next 12 months of terror in our special episode, The Dread Forecast 2026.
And we aren't doing it alone. We've assembled a massive panel of the best voices in the horror community to help us sift through the sequels, the indies, and the nightmares yet to be born.
Joining us tonight, we have Aaron from A&B Horror Movies. Aaron, thank you so much for being here.
Yes. Hi, guys. I'm very happy to be here. This is going to be awesome. Thank you, Tim and Jonathan, as always, for having me on.
Yes. We were supposed to have Kelsi from Slime and Slashers with us, but she came down with a scratchy throat, didn't have much of a voice, and so she is unfortunately able to make it, but we love you, Kelsi. We'll see you next time. And then we have the duo behind Gutted Horror Podcast, Tony and Elise. Thanks for being here.
Hello. Thanks for having us. Very excited to be here.
Heck yeah. The roster continues with David from Journey with a Cinephile.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
Always good to see you. Then we've got Joel from Darkroom Reviews.
Who I don't know where he is, but
he's not here with us.
He might show up.
Well, maybe he'll pop in. We'll have to wait and see. But then, aside from that, though, we do have Stephanie and Alex representing 13 Degrees of Screams.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
And rounding out the group, we've got Miles from Miles of Horror. Miles, glad you made it.
Yeah, what up, everyone? Appreciate you guys having me, man. Let's do this.
Yeah, and last, certainly not least, Vince from Dread Alert Media. So glad you could make it.
Nope, not going to say
Not talking yet.
All right, so as you can tell, it's a full house, and the forecast is already looking bloody. But before we dive into our 2026 watch lists, we have a very special guest who knows exactly how to bring real-world terror to the screen.
He is a filmmaker who doesn't just show you monsters. He shows you the monsters that live next door. Whether it's the brutality of Pig Killer or the psychological weight of Ed Kemper, his work is unflinching.
He's here tonight because his new film, Dorothea, under Epic Pictures' Dread label, is officially unearthing the secrets of the death house landlady, Dorothea Puente. It's a chilling look at how real evil hides behind a grandmother's smile.
And rumor has it he's already moving on to another nightmare, a biographical dive into the Night Stalker himself. I'm sure we might have some questions about that.
And we're incredibly honored to have him with us to kick off the new year. Please welcome our featured guest for the evening, the writer and director, Chad Ferrin.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
I was doing the silent clap.
We have an audio bit that we're not good at using, but that would have been perfect timing.
Oh,
so,
yeah, I forgot about that.
You want to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you and your film.
Yeah, I mean, Dorothea is the latest one. Other true crime film before that was Ed Kemper, which Epic has also put out. And then Pig Killer was my first foray into true crime, and it's been a blast. I mean, I moved, from different genres, whether it's, sci-fi horror with Lovecraft or, giallo with Nightcaller. I kind of shift around which, avenues of horror to dabble in. And so far, so good with true crime. It's been the most popular of the films I've been doing. So I'm kind of staying in that niche.
There's definitely a true crime movie I fall into that category. I watch a lot of true crime. I actually first discovered the Dorothea Puente story on the Netflix Worst Roommate Ever documentary series, and that's where I discovered her story. So, where did you discover her story, and what kind of brought you around to bringing it to screen?
It started a friend of mine, Gerard McMahon, a musician, just a great guy all around. He was good friends with Sharon Stone, and he was telling me that hey, Sharon's over right now. We're recording a song, and she's just a great person. I'm like, hey, would she be interested in a lower budget project? I might have something for her. He's like, oh yeah, when you're ready, send it over. So I immediately got online and started looking up female serial killers and came across Dorothea Puente, and that's the script was born. I wrote it in a couple of weeks. Had a really fun time diving in and discovering about her crimes and who she was and all that stuff. And then the idea was, to get it to Sharon Stone and make this big movie and climb out of the gutter. And so I finished it, sent it to him. He thought it was great, sent it to her. She loved it. And we kind of started going, into a bigger budget, bigger, film and kind of ironing that all out. And then it got in with her manager and agents and, all these kind of different things that I was like, that's fine. And suggestions and notes and, bigger budget than even what we had in mind of what I could possibly raise. And it just kind of became one of those things where I started feeling not comfortable. I like the kind of a comfort zone. I like to control the, these smaller budget films and have, just a freedom to making them without confines. And I knew that direction of going with her was going to be just filled with confines and things that I'm not used to or didn't even want to get into at this age. So I called up Susan Prever, who I had worked with previously on Ed Kemper, and I said, hey, take a look at this script, see if you're interested in it. And she loved it, and we were off and making it, a month later.
I did notice that she played Ed Kemper's mother in the Ed Kemper film, and then was Dorothea in this one. I wondered, watching it now, hearing your story, I wonder differently, but still, we see directors return to a lot of actors because they work well together. And watching it, I wondered if that was the case in this one, if you just work really well with her and thought she would be a great fit for it.
Yeah, no, I work great with her, and she's a great actress and just a good energy on set. I mean, half of the time, whether someone's a great actress or a great actor, if they're a pain in the ass, I'd rather have a mediocre actor than someone. But she, is both. She's a great actress and a good person, and fun to be around, and doesn't complain and doesn't hits her mark, knows her lines, and 2 takes and we're out of there. When you're shooting these things for, on $100,000 budget in 10 days, there's really not much time to find an actor or to coddle them or to say, give them motivation speeches for an hour. I need people who are going to get there. They're going to show up. They're going to be good. They're going to, and hit their marks and have a smile at the end of the day. And she hits all those boxes, and it's, always a pleasure to work with.
Awesome.
I have a question.
Anyone else has other questions?
Yeah, I can jump in here. Hi, Chad. Aaron here from A&B Horror Movies. When you choose a true crime story, what elements of the individual's lives do you decide to focus in on? So there's a lot of material, right, that you can consider. So like with Ed Kemper, you focused on his relationship with his mother. With Dorothea, you focus on her sort of defense mechanism if anyone gets too close or whenever she senses sort of, I don't know, something might change her way of life, then she acts upon that. So how do you choose those nuggets like that you can really gravitate and hold on to in the film?
Well, like with Ed Kemper, it was kind of, things that I could relate to of having a difficult time with my mother as a child, and things that I could draw on that I've experienced. And then also knowing that, Susan was going to be in it and kind of just focusing more of her dynamic with Ed. And, and still the script from Stephen Johnson was fantastic, but it was a much bigger budget. So when I got it, it was kind of just honing it down to a smaller budget and then working it more of the dynamic with, the mother and son relationship, which is something I could totally relate to. And, it's with any of these scripts or these projects, it's finding elements of the character that I personally can draw, whether it's inspiration from or relate to them from. With Richard Ramirez was a tough one because the really only thing that I could relate to him with was his love of horror films, or, he was a big Dark Shadows fan. So,
Yes.
things like that I could kind of like, okay, I can get behind that. And, he had a fucked up, childhood. I can kind of work with that, but very slim elements to relate to with him. I mean, it's really one of the most disturbing scripts I've ever written, and the research doing on him was, exhausting. And, the film will be, again, a very harrowing experience for all involved.
And I just want to ask one more thing. So how do you disconnect from all the research and writing a screenplay that's so the material is so difficult? Does that sort of creep into your daily life, or is it easy for you to step back and not think like Richard Ramirez?
Well, no, the great thing is, I've been lucky to get at least, 2 to 3 projects a year, and they kind of go quick. Like Dorothea, once that was done, we went into shooting Sunset Strip Killers, and I just finished that, and Epic Pictures just picked that one up as well. And then, in that interim, I was writing Night Stalker, and it was just kind of, I was able to kind of disconnect quickly from Night Stalker, jumping into Sunset Strip Killers and then shooting that. And then once we finished that and finished the post on that, and then I'm got back into Richard Ramirez, and we just finished casting, and we start shooting February 9th. So it's one of those things where it's kind of a whirlwind, and the horror of writing it and learning all about him, every detail. And, and the film is basically, the audience gets in with Richard Ramirez from the get-go, and you're going into 14 different victims, and you're raping them, you're shooting the husband, you're killing people. It's nonstop. I mean, it's fucking Fulci, true crime all the way. So for me to kind of disconnect it, I try to get the excitement level of, again, taking the reality of it and making it more in my mind as a fiction piece. I'm like, okay, New York Ripper, and certain things that I kind of try to take away the fact that this shit really happened and went down, and it's some fucked up shit. But I mean, there's been fucked up shit happening since the dawn of time. Should we not make entertainment from it? If that were the case, there would never be any Civil War movies. There'd never be any World War II movies. So when people try to shit on me about making something and not being as sympathetic to victims or whatever it is, I try to just disconnect from that and say, look, I'm just trying to make something as accurate as possible and entertaining as possible, and on a nickel budget. And and if that finds an audience and a voice, and someone is basically able to say, man, that's some fucked up shit that he did to that woman or whatever, and then they research it and they learn about it and they dig deeper than whatever documentary they may have seen or whatever they may have read about him. It's something that I think the knowledge or interest that's piqued in certain things, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent, is something that learning is a great thing, and especially in cinema, when you come across something and then you're like, oh, I like that director, and you start researching his other films, and you found out what they made that on or the things they did. You go down different rabbit holes, and it's the same thing with true crime. You can either obsess about the victims, or you can figure out, why did Ramirez do this? What were the things that kind of led to these things? And to me, it's just kind of, the psychological aspects are very interesting and exciting and entertaining. I mean, that's why, Forensic Files, or, all these different shows that you kind of fall into, they're so Unsolved Mysteries or whatever. They're very interesting and exciting, and they have a huge audience that, I'm thrilled to be a part of in whatever small way that I am. And, to me, it's just trying to make something that I find exciting, that hasn't been done before. I mean, there's been other Ramirez films, but nothing, I assure you, nothing like this one.
Well, I just want to say I'm a fan. Count me in. I can't wait to see what's next for you.
You mentioned two of my favorites. I watch Forensic Files and Unsolved Mysteries in the background constantly, because I do find the psychology of this interesting. I don't want to say it's like appealing. It's not, it's horrifying, but there's something about it that is just like, I want to learn and I want to understand because I am not that person.
Right.
And to see that somebody could go to those extremes is fascinating to me to kind of process and try to understand that individual. So you mentioned you try to make something that is extremely factual and extremely entertaining. Where do you draw the line on when something can stretch the truth to be more entertaining or vice versa?
Well, I think, I mean, that's a tough one. I don't think it should be stretched to the point of absurdity. Like, the Ed Gein Netflix film was a little
That made
absurd.
me mad.
So, but at the same time, I mean, there's still factual elements of it. And I find, if you knew that going in, you'd probably be more on board with it. But, when I saw it, I was just kind of taken aback a little bit by it. But, at the same time, there are entertaining facets within it and with other things that I can kind of say, well, it's not a total piece of shit. It kept me entertained for this. It kept me entertained for that. I'm not one of those guys that spends, watch something and then I go on Letterboxd or IMDb and shit all over it for, hours, calling it the worst thing, worst acting, worst whatever. In every film, good or bad, whether it's fucking Ed Wood or Al Adamson, there are some great stuff in those movies. And I kind of look at the determination and the chutzpah they had to make these films and to keep doing it. And whether it's good or bad or someone calls it the worst piece of shit, I could care less. I find entertainment within them, and I think that's what cinema's all about. It doesn't, not everything has to be Citizen Kane or 2001. There's some great schlock, and there's nothing better than you watch Magnificent Ambersons, great amazing movie, and then you turn on fucking Lindsay's Nightmare City and you're like, okay, this is some fun stuff. So for me, my taste is kind of all over the board, and it's just having a love for cinema. And then when you find out especially if they made it for a nickel and it's got these great things and the time constraints and the actors, going crazy or whatever it might be, and keeping it all together and getting it released. And, those are the things that kind of cement whether a film to me has got merit or not. So.
Very good.
Chad, it's great seeing you again. When you were on the Dread Alert podcast, we talked a lot about your visual influences and those beautiful split diopter shots. I wonder if you'd share that with the group here. What inspired your visual style on Dorothea?
Oh, that's a tough one. Of course, Brian De Palma, was a big influence. So was, whatever happened to Baby Jane, and, any of those kind of older women films that Aldrich, made with Bette Davis and Joan Crawford. I mean, those elements to me are kind of a Grand Guignol style, and that's kind of what I wanted to do with Dorothea, with a little injection of Goodfellas, the talking to the camera and those kind of things. Because for me, it was a great script to write because there was a total freedom of, you're thinking you're making this for a big A-list star, and you're kind of going with this. I don't give a shit what the budget is. I'm not writing knowing that it's, we're making it for a nickel. There was kind of this freedom to kind of just do all these certain things. And then when she left, it was like, okay, now we got to take it back to a nickel, but I don't want to change anything. Let's try and see what making, a creatively free script, it was, in the millions budget for $100,000 budget. And let's see what happens. And, I had a great cast and a great crew, and we kind of pulled it off, and it's a film I'm very proud of. And to me, but the beautiful thing about making numerous films, especially in a short succession, is you kind of let it go the minute it's kind of in other hands. Dread's got it, it's off, it's free from me, and I'm on to other projects. So if Dorothea does horribly or it gets shit on critically, I really don't care, because I'm on to other things, and I don't let it, get me by, get me down. Because before, you'd make a film a year or every 4 years or whatever it is, and you'd be near suicide if the film, was getting, shit on or not making money or whatever it is. But now I've kind of, cut those shackles of, giving a crap what the audience thinks or whatever, because I'm on to another film. I'll still look at stuff and reviews and see, that negative review has some good merit. Maybe I'll try, and pick certain things that I can try to learn from in the process, but at the same time, I don't let anything negative on previous films, really bog me down or bother me anymore.
Hell yeah! Don't let haters ruin your vision.
But at the same time, I try to, take in, if someone's got a good comment about something, why didn't they call it, killer grannies from whatever? And I'm like, oh, maybe that would have been a better marketing, and you start to kind of question certain things on more of a financial level than anything else creatively, because, for me, when you get a success, like Ed Kemper has been very successful. For me, it's probably my most successful film. They basically picked up my next two films. They just did a 3-picture deal with me. They're bankrolling Night Stalker and the Sam Little, and then Night Stalker Volume 2, which covers his trial and his death in prison. I mean, all these things kind of came together from, Ed Kemper. So Stalker Volume 2. It's the true crime that really kind of launched a solid foundation of my career at this moment, because before it was kind of like hand to mouth. You'd try to find investors, 10 grand here, 20 grand here, and, scrape at the bottom of the barrel to try to get something together, to get something up on the screen. And then when no one goes and sees it, or it doesn't make any money, it's just like, oh, that's in the toilet. But when you find something that's successful, like true crime, it kind of changes your whole perspective on what I once thought artistically and the merit of things. It became more of, okay, that's a great idea. Sounds like a great film, but is it going to make any money? Is anybody going to want to see it? And I start to kind of weigh things differently than I did before, because after having, something that's somewhat of a successful film. Because so many people, I had someone send me a film because they wanted some advice on selling it and whatever, and they spent like, $500,000, and I'm like, look, it looks good and it's all that stuff, but I don't think you're ever going to make your investors' money back. And that's a tough place to be, because I've been there, and, you get these phone calls at 3 a.m. Where's my fucking money? And, you don't, you're like, look, man, the movie's not doing well. I thought, my first Lovecraft film, the deep ones, would do great. The second one, the old ones, did shit. I'm sorry, I don't have the money to pay you back. And, it's disheartening, but at the same time, it's best to find things, especially for first-time filmmakers or whatever. Make sure there's, an audience for it. I hate to be kind of that guy that, you should make what you want to make and put your heart into it and your soul into it. But at the same time, the producer in me is like, make sure that thing can make its money back, or you're going to get investors calling you at 4 a.m. wanting to kill you.
Sounds like a great time.
Make it sound like a dangerous game.
Sounds just like a horror movie in itself. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, find an animal head in your bed and shit. Like, oh my god!
Don't answer the door.
Right.
Well, I'm armed. I have a shotgun and a pistol. So
you're good to go. All right. It's like, come and get that money, bitch.
Yeah, I'm here all day.
Anybody have more questions for you?
I actually do. I typically do.
What is something that you have learned in the process of making these specifically true crime based films that helps you tackle the next one? So going from Ed Kemper to Dorothea, now to Night Stalker, what are things you learn on one that helps with the next?
Well, I think, one big thing is the connections you make from one film to the other, especially like with the vintage cars and the wardrobe, who Jerry, she did the wardrobe on the last 2 true crime films, and she's just top notch with getting this vintage clothes and all this stuff. And then, the cars and, finding the locations that fit the period. And they have the, pulling in the antique furniture and all the old TVs and all the kind of the fun stuff of this is, and just kind of narrowing that down to, instead of renting it from a prop house, it's like, buy a TV on eBay for $10, or buy this on that for the, finding things and kind of amassing them, because that the budget's small and you can't afford to do the typical, rent a truck full of shit. It's like, here, I'll buy half of the shit and then use it on the next movie and the next movie and the next movie. And the people that I've met, whether it's using their classic cars or what locations or whatever it might be, just kind of helps save not only the money, but it also helps in the script writing process, because you're like, oh, I can go back to that location or back to this car, or what are the certain things that you can kind of write in that you have, and can kind of pull it off without having to worry about where are we going to get a 1942 Duesenberg or whatever it might be that you need to kind of fill in the script. I kind of just write around what I know and what I've worked with, and kind of let the things that is there at my disposal without a pain in the ass of permits and certain things that will be tough, and just kind of work that in to the script and still give it its same kind of a big feeling, a much bigger budget than the pennies we work with, but not learning from the past films and the things that worked and the people you worked with that worked out well, and just kind of reusing those and repurposing them as it may be.
You're taking me back to my
your
stock theater
period
days.
details that you are discussing. Actually, they do make your films seem bigger budget than it sounds like what you're talking about. I was very impressed watching them because I love period films, and you do an excellent job of capturing that with the budget you're working with. Great. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you. I mean, look, to me, that's one of the biggest things as a movie buff. There's nothing that draws me out quicker from any type of, period film that, like The Irishman is a perfect example. Here's a movie that's, $100 million, whatever ridiculous amount of money. And I'm watching this, and at first I can't get past the de-aging bullshit. But then they have a scene with like this 1955, pickup that he's driving. And he's like, it breaks down at the side of the road, and they pop the hood, and it's got like a 1972 radiator cap or something, much newer than 1955. And it totally pulls me out of the movie. And I'm like, what the fuck? They spend all this money, all this stuff. And I mean, maybe, 10 people may have noticed it, but still, that's something that, when you watch enough old television and old movies, and, I used to watch like 5 movies a day, and plus, and, Gunsmoke, Twilight Zone, and every fucking show as a kid. So I'd have a detailed eye on little pieces of whatever, the set might be, whether it's a rotary phone in the back or whatever it is. So I'd kind of know, most people in 1985 wouldn't have a rotary phone, but a lot would because they didn't switch over. So there's certain things that I nitpick when I do these, and, having the budgets on these, being so small, 90% of the time I'm doing art department as well. So I get all the props, I get all the set decoration, and we kind of just throw it all in together, and then we do this. But it's one of those things I try to meticulously, it's like, oh, there's no 3-prong outlets, get rid of that, or, certain things that, I'm a stickler for that, some people might get and some people might not. But for me, that's an important thing to get it right, just to know that I'm like, it's true to the era for me, and and not something that someone can call out on for being inaccurate. They may think it's a piece of shit movie, but at the same time, I don't say that, hey, well, I felt the period was correct. They didn't have something else, or whatever it is.
Elise, did you have a question?
All right. Does anybody have one more question before I ask the last one?
Oh, I did have a question. I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if my mic was on or not. Just really quick on the aspects of the period aspect. I did notice in Ed Kemper that the hair, the makeup, the clothing was excellent. And that is something that pulls me out of a movie, a period piece. If the actresses have too full of eyebrows, and I'm just like, okay, that looks too modern. Or if their hair looks perfectly blown out and smoothed down, I'm like, no, that really took me out. I mean, I know the Fear Street series has an audience, but that is one that I've noticed. I'm just like, the hair's too perfect. So really great work on the hair, the makeup, and the wardrobe. But I wanted to talk about the with Ed Kemper, that you really made him human for this character who is deplorable and does these really awful things. The dialogue that you have between him and his mother, the little quips that he has back to her, they all seem so real. But there's one moment that I was like, wait, did that actually happen? With the third hitchhiker, where he's kind of bumbling because he's new at this, and he locks himself out of the car. Is that something that in your research you discovered? Did this happen, or is this just kind of encapsulating the aura of him being new at this?
Well, that's one of the things. When I first got the script from Mike Muscal, who has produced the original Ed Gein and the Hillside Stranglers, and he had that slew of true crime films in the early 2000s, and he said, "Hey, are you looking for another true crime film? I've got Ed Kemper, written by Stephen Johnson, who wrote Ed Gein. And I'm like, send it over. And he sent it over. And being a true crime fan, I knew about Ed Kemper and I knew a lot about his backstory. And reading the script, I'm like, this is right on point. It's very accurate. It's whatever. I just, again, went through to kind of make it fit our budget and to bump up the mother-son relationship. But then when redoing my research, I came across the story of him, how he locked his keys in the car, and then she ended up letting him out, and his retelling of that whole story. And I'm like, I've got to put that in the script. So I put that scene in as told by Ed in one of his prison interviews. And it was one of those things that also in doing that, learning and then going back, that he only had sex with these victims when they were dead. There was never when they were alive or any of that stuff. So he killed them first. And so it was just kind of fixing some of that in one of the other scenes, and trying to again be as true to it as well. And it again, it's one of those things, it's hard to believe, but I think when she was so young, she was like 15 years old. And I think, when you look back, even now, I'll look back at things, oh my God, why did I do that? Why did I blow that stop sign? Or why did I do these things that, led to incarceration, or numerous bad choices in your life, or things that if I would have done that, they'd still be alive. Or if I would have done this, I'd still have money. Certain things that, shit, you made a mistake, and unfortunately she paid for it. It's one of those things where most of the audience are like, oh my God, grab the gun, shoot him in the face, all these things that you wish you could do but you didn't do. And whether it's fate or whatever it is, certain things you have a split second to react to a lot of things, and you made the wrong choice. And
and I think the way that you wrote him and the way that he's acted and portrayed by Brandon Kirk, I think he does seem so unassuming. I could see how somebody in his presence would not believe that he'd be capable of doing what he does, and I think that's portrayed well in the film. So nice job.
Oh yeah, Brandon. I mean, he did a great job, and I think it's one of those things. He really got into it. He studied up Ed Kemper, read the transcripts and all the different research that he did, and watched all the interviews, and and I think those are the important things if you're doing a true crime, especially for an actor, to get into that character as much as possible. And like Peter Mendoza, who's playing Richard Ramirez in the next one. I mean, he's lost like 20 pounds. He's he's going into a very, very, very dark place, and that's something to talk to him about it afterwards, to see getting into that, especially seeing he's a little on the method side of acting, and knowing how dark you have to go, and how hard it is to turn it off and to come back to reality.
And at a certain point, you have to kind of keep an eye on him, like, hey, everything all right?
Look, I try to stay as far from actors and people as possible until we get on set, and then it's like, okay, let's do this. And there's a full energy and a thing. A general, I don't think, wants to hang out with troops, before the war, but once they're in war, they kind of get all buddy and commiserate on the misery of the whole aspect, or the joy of it, or whatever it might be. But before that, it's like I had one meeting with them. We had lunch. We discussed, my thoughts on it, and what I'm okay with. And I'm like, look, Peter, go as far as you want. You've got the freedom to do that. If it's wrong, I'll say, hey, let's do it this different way. But I'm very open to kind of seeing what you come up with, and I want to be surprised by it. I don't want to rehearse the hell out of it, or write a whole bunch of bullshit camera shots that we're not going to use anyway because the location is 10 times smaller than it was in your head. So you kind of just, for me, it's kind of a free-flowing thing. You hope that everyone kind of, buckled down, did the research, and it's ready to go with a hard on and make this motherfucker. Or, and you go in there full thing and take what it comes to you. Without having it all pre-planned. I mean, I already know one of the locations is a real ball buster. So when we get there and, they start saying, hey, you can't do this, or you can't do that, or we just heard gunshots, then you kind of just switch what your mind vision of it was and say, okay, now we got to kind of do this a little softer or a little quieter before we get the police called on us. And, so for me, it's just kind of, taking it as it comes kind of way, without kind of over analyzing it and overthinking it. All the overthinking it and analyzing was done in the writing of the script. not, and kind of pulling it all together. But once on set, there's kind of a freedom to what comes with what may. And if an actress is like, what, I'm not going to do this nudity, and I'm like, well, you said you're going to be buck naked and sodomized and thrown over the thing, and then all these different things. Then you changed your mind. So instead of screaming about it, I would try to figure out a way to make her comfortable and make it work. And a lot of the times the scenes come out better, than you would have even imagined, because you're open minded to, whatever they.
Tim, can I jump in with one last question? I have to.
Okay.
To ask.
Well,
I have to ask.
This will be your last.
It's kind
this
of
will be your last one, Chad.
Okay, last one. It's kind of fun. I know you've worked with Brinke Stevens on a couple of films, and she's a horror legend, horror royalty even. What is it like working with her?
Oh man, she's fantastic. I mean, it's one of those things where they get there, they have she has such a great energy and very, positive. And then she's a good actress. She looks great on film. The camera likes her. All these certain things that click, and you're like, oh, this is a no-brainer. 2 takes, she's great. She's done. Thank you. Hug. Goodbye. Call her up for the next one. And it's the same thing on each show. And you just, if everyone had that energy, it would be, a joy. And I try to surround myself with those kind of people. That's why I work with a lot of the same cast and a lot of the same crew, because they have a good energy and they're not going to be a pain in the ass. And that they're going to give 110% and they're going to love being there, and they're not going to complain or whine about shitty food or whatever it might be. And you just it just makes everyone more creative and happy. And it just, before you know it, it's over. And I tell everyone that it's like, look, Richard Ramirez, it's a tough fucking project. It's, no doubt about that. Probably the hardest thing I've ever done or will do. And, but at the same time, it's a 2-week shoot. So when any actor tells me, oh my God, this is going to be tough, I've got to do this, I'm like, look, man, it's going to be over before you know it. And then it's going to be done, and it's going to be either great or it's going to be a piece of shit. But it'll be over nonetheless. And that moment of pain and frustration or whatever it is, instead of letting it get you down or whatever it is, just be like, it's going to be over soon. But on the other side, take that, if it's a good shoot and it's a good energy and you're all having a good time, it's one of those brief moments where, again, it's also over, and you hold it as a positive experience and a positive energy that you kind of take with you to the next project, and you do it. I mean, I did a film called Parasites that was shot all downtown in night shoots from like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. for a week, with the scummiest of the scum of the fucking earth. And it was one of the toughest shoots I've ever been on. But at the same time, it was such a film that I'm so proud of, because it was, there's a film called The Naked Prey that's a huge inspiration to me, because I saw it as a kid with my father, on TV, and it was just stuck in my mind, this guy being chased across the African plains buck naked. And I'm like, so for me, all those moments of pain and misery are just over, because you're like, you made something you're proud of, or made a new friend or a new crew cast member like Brinke Stevens that you're like, I want to work with her again and again and again. And I think that's the joy of film and making these, whether they're a tough experience or an easy experience. It's the people you meet and the reception it gets, and all these things combined. Being here, talking to you guys, I mean, these are great things that I never in my wildest dreams would have thought I'd be here doing this stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
I like how darkly positive.
Well, Chad,
you are.
thank you so much for your time. And
well, you got to be.
questions.
It's like, look. I got to be honest. There's one of the things. My whole life, I've always been suicidal. And just whatever, fucked up childhood, all those things. But cinema has taken me out of the depression of it. Look, I'm still a pain in the ass. I'm still grumpy. I'm still an old man. All these things. But I try to look at the positive things, especially the older I get. And it's like, look, everything's getting you down. Pop in a Blu-ray of whatever, and just kind of go back to whether it's your childhood or something in a cinema that really makes your heart pump, and whatever it is. And it kind of, pretty soon you're forgetting about all of your troubles and your woes and whatever. So to me, cinema is such a great thing. It's a lifesaver, not only for my career and putting a roof over my head, but also from keeping a shotgun out of my mouth all the times that, I was ready to end it for whatever odd little reason it might be. A girl dumped me, or, I'm broke, or all those little things. Trust me, life will get better. You just got to keep your chin up, work hard, and just do what you want to do, whether it's writing a book or painting a picture or making music or, anything. Just do it, or shoveling shit in the horse stall. Certain things that, if those are things you enjoy doing, go out and do it and do the best you can at it, and don't let life get you down.
Fuck yeah.
Well said.
Fantastic. Yeah, beautiful. Well, thank you again for your time. Thank you for answering our questions and hanging out with us. Do you want to tell people what they can get excited about next from you? You kind of mentioned the Night Stalker a little bit, but you want to end giving us a glance at what's coming up.
Sure. We're shooting, Night Stalker in February, and then we're shooting Samuel Little, which is you look him up. He's a real winner. In May, and then we're doing Night Stalker Volume 2, which covers the Ramirez trial and his marriage and his death in prison and all that kind of stuff in August. And then after that, who knows?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and that's all we have for you tonight. So thank you again for your time.
Great. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Real pleasure.
Awesome, Chad. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Great seeing you again.
Great seeing you.
Let's go on to our forecast for the. I think I'm lagging. Am I lagging again?
You're okay. You're fine, guy. Tell your weather to get it together over there. Stop messing with the internet.
It's awful. Ugh. All right, so
he was so awesome. I'm just gonna say,
he was. That was great.
It's incredible. All good. It's okay.
So the rest of what we're here for.
A little dark there, but he's climbed out of the darkness. That's awesome. Sorry, Tim, I threw you off. Go ahead.
No, you're okay. My side is being super laggy. So you guys, if I'm lagging behind, you guys just take off. Go for it. I don't.
Just everybody yell at Tim. Shut up, Tim. We're talking.
We're looking forward to 2026. This episode. So let's go. Aaron, I'm going to have you, since you're a veteran of the show, we're going to kick it off with you. Okay. Is that all right?
Yeah. What do you want me to tell
Aaron,
I'm just kidding.
So what do you have coming up this year that we can look forward to from your stuff? And what movies are you most excited about? And kick off that conversation. We'll chat about what we're all excited about in 2026 too.
Yes, absolutely. So I've got some really exciting things coming up on my channel. I have Dan Yeager, who I interviewed last week, who was Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw. Do your thing, cuz. He sent me some really cool behind the scenes pictures with Alexandra Daddario. I hope I'm saying her name right. Gunnar Hansen, who was on set. There's a picture of him with Gunnar. And also Marilyn Burns. There's a behind the scenes picture with him. So that was awesome. I chatted with Mike Levy recently, who, as you probably all know, he wrote and directed Stream. He's produced the Terrifier films. And I also did a panel interview with the director and cast members of Meat, M-E-A-T, which is a queer slasher that was absolutely fantastic. The killer is all done up in these like studs, and he's like shiny, and it's so cool. The kills were off the charts. It was so good. Let's see, next posting next week, I've got an interview with Vinny Pacifico, who is a professional wrestler, and he's now doing horror films. He's acting in horror films, so that's coming up. And I just posted an interview today with the Bad Things director and producer, who is the lead actor in that film as well. So that's what I've got coming up on my channel on A&B Horror Movies, and I'm very excited to talk about 2026 horrors. Rather than start with some of the more obvious ones, I thought I would start with Hokum, which I think is coming out in April or May, and that is...
You stole my answer.
Did I steal one of your movies?
Yeah.
What I thought we could do is just kind of have an open discussion, right? I'm psyched about Hokum. Damien did Caveat, which I love, the scariest freaking bunny ever. And he did Oddity last year, which was just fantastic. And now he's going into sort of like a witchcraft area, right, Vince? I'll let you jump
yeah.
in, Vince. What were you going to say
No.
about Hokum?
The trailer was absolutely terrifying. That face, I don't know if it's like a bunny face. I don't know. I'm signed up.
eyes.
Yeah, with the eyes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
signed up for everything that Damian McCarthy has put out and will put out. So Hokum was just my number one most anticipated film this year. You have good taste, my friend. You always do.
Oh, you're too kind. Thank you. Well, I also have Scream 7 on my list, so does that count?
Of course.
So yeah, Hokum, I can't wait to see that. Damian McCarthy, if you haven't seen his other films, I know most people have seen Oddity, but Caveat is a fantastic film as well. In fact, I fell in love with that film when it first came out, before Oddity, years before Oddity came out. Let's see, Evil Dead Burn, I'm excited about, coming in July. I don't want to steal other movies from everyone else. I'll say one more. I think Psycho Killer, coming out next month, I believe. Looks pretty damn cool if you ask me. So I'm psyched about that too.
That's one of our picks.
Psycho Killer.
Yeah.
And then no, it looks good. Do you want me to keep going? I don't know. Does someone else want to jump in?
Yeah, you don't want to take them all.
Yeah, we could.
I don't want to take them all. So why don't I stop there?
Yeah, we had 3 movies that were sort of on our radar, and
We've only gotten as far as February.
February, yeah. These are actually all kind of like wide release ones too, because they're just trailers that we've seen going to the movies.
Yeah.
Someone else want to jump in?
Yeah, we can.
I don't want to take them all. So why don't I stop?
Uh-oh.
We got a little bit of
I can hear myself.
Yeah, I think it's just like whatever we just said like 30 seconds ago is now playing. These are actually all kind of like wide release ones.
I'm wondering, something going on it's Tim's end with the difficulties he's having. I don't know.
Oh, that's all right.
There's a feedback
anyway,
from him.
Psycho Killer is definitely one of the ones that we're looking forward to.
I'm excited to see George.
Am I live yet? No, I'm still lagging, aren't I? Oh my gosh! You guys just chat. Go for it. I'll get caught up eventually.
He'll be back.
He'll be back. Come out. Oh goodness.
You were saying
Psycho Killer.
Psycho Killer. We're all excited.
Yeah,
all excited for it.
Excited for that for sure.
I mean, Georgina Campbell. I think she is a leading lady, and I was disappointed in the role she was given in Influencers this past year, and so I'm excited to see her take the lead again in Psycho Killer.
Yeah, and who doesn't love a sort of satanic crime drama? I mean, we had Long Legs. Is that 2 years ago now?
2 years ago.
So yeah, I mean that looks like it could be a lot of fun. They're dropping names like Seven in there. It's like from the writer of Seven.
And 8mm.
And 8mm. I'm like, okay, you have my attention.
Yeah, and Malcolm McDowell's in it. What? Okay,
Nice.
cool.
And then the other one that I was curious about was Luc Besson's new Dracula movie, which I think has already been released in Europe. I haven't really heard much from like any sort of like critical reception of it, so that might not be a good sign. But it looks like this sort of epic love story with horror, and Luc Besson has just done some amazing works. Fifth Element, The Professional. I haven't seen too many of his recent movies. Even like I don't think I've seen Lucy or Valerian. So I don't know if it's going to be sort of like a Rennie Harlan kind of thing, which might be a little segue into our other pick. But it's like they made a bunch of great movies back in the 2000s.
You stop it. Rennie Harlan is back, and I'm excited.
So yeah,
I want to hear this, Elise. I want to hear this.
So, a little movie called Strangers Chapter 3 is coming out, directed by the one and only Rennie Harlan. We all know from Die Hard 2 and Deep Blue Sea, Cliffhanger. I have to admit, I did not enjoy Strangers Chapter 1 that much, but I went to go see Strangers Chapter 2 because, whatever, I'll see it. And I was actually pleasantly surprised. I loved just this. We are following Madeline Pesh as she is put through the ringer. We have like 6 different locations and very minimal dialogue to like clutter all the stuff that she's going through. And I loved her performance. I can't wait to see her again. And I can't wait to have more Richard Brake, hopefully, and see Rennie Harlan do his thing.
And we know that this is a hot take because we've seen so many social media people citing Strangers Chapter 2 as the absolute worst movie of 2025.
Not true. Give it a chance.
So, I think one of the things that we just heard from Chad, where it's like, all these movies, whether it's a big budget release or a low budget release, there's something that
There's something to
is
like.
good or something
Yeah.
that or appealing to an audience.
Yeah. And it's like, no, they couldn't get a real boar. They got a CGI boar. But do I care? Not that much.
If you like movies like Meth Gator and
Yeah.
Meth Gator, that's good.
I love Meth Gator.
Yeah.
Many people might mention
Animals
that
and
comparing a
drugs.
Stranger's film to Meth Gator is the problem here.
Well, when I was watching it, I was like, okay, this is like Halloween 2, and then we have a little bit of like a Revenant thing.
It's like The
going
Revenant,
on.
but lower budget.
When she gets out of the woods, I don't want to spoil too much, but after that, I was just like, nah, I can't get on board with it. I don't know if I could give it as high of praises as Elise is giving it, but after a rewatch, I did appreciate that extended chase scene.
Yeah.
So
My review is not that bad. Not that bad. Give it a chance.
We came on this channel to say that it is not the worst movie of 2025. I would rather watch that. Like, this might be a hot take, but I'd rather watch Strangers Chapter 2 over I Know What You Did Last Summer remake. So I wasn't a big fan of that one.
So I will say I am waiting. As someone, I love the first Strangers film. It's my favorite like home invasion film. It's terrifying still.
Yes.
I am one of the ones, I enjoyed Prey at Night. I thought it was stylish and effective. I really liked it. The ending was not my favorite, but the rest of the movie is solid. So I was disappointed by Chapter 1 because it felt like a remake.
Yes. Yes.
And then, but I thought it looked visually, it was nice to look at. It was a good looking movie. So I am now waiting. I don't want to watch Chapter 2 because I heard that the biggest problem with that movie is that we know Chapter 3 is coming. And so I'm waiting because Rennie has said he wants to do a supercut of all three as one film.
Hell yeah.
And I want to watch that.
That's a commitment.
Yeah, I want to watch that because that is how it was written. He has been clear from the beginning. It is a 3-part story, 3-arc story, and that's how it's supposed to be seen. So I'm like, you know what? Saw a lot of bad reviews for 2. I think to appreciate 2, I got to see 3 as well to kind of lead into it. It's like picking up the middle chapters of the book and then being mad about it.
Yeah.
So I am looking forward.
I think though you can still watch 2 if you like kind of try to treat it as a different movie than 1, then you can still watch 2 and enjoy it.
Okay. But you don't have to wait that long because Chapter 3 is coming out pretty soon.
Next
month.
We already know.
Weren't they supposed to release all those a lot closer together?
They were.
Than
They took a year.
thought? Like,
To try to fix Chapter 2.
Yeah.
What I heard.
Okay.
There was a
Haven't seen
year.
2
I haven't
yet.
seen it though, so I don't know. That's just what I've heard.
Rennie's doing the Tarantino thing. We'll do the one long supercut, huh?
Hey, it worked for Kill Bill, so
True.
so,
True.
Can we get a supercut of the Halloween reboot trilogy, the David Gordon Green? Would anyone sit through that?
11 hours.
No, I don't want that. But
I would watch it. I love
wanna
that
see-
trilogy.
I do want to see some further exploration of the Corey character, although, I realized his fate in the movie, but,
Tony loves Corey.
I'm a huge Corey fan.
I really enjoyed his character. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
I'm here for it.
I think I hated. I shouldn't say hated. I was disappointed in that movie as a trilogy capper, but not as a movie.
Okay.
Ending a trilogy, I thought it was kind of weak, but the story itself, I thought was actually really fascinating. So if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree.
So
I'm an
yeah, all of
apologist for the whole
exciting horror
trilogy.
just in this month, because I think Psycho Killer is February 20th in US.
Dracula and Strangers Chapter 3 are
like
February
next-
6th.
Next week.
We've got
Next
a ticket.
week.
We're ready.
Yeah.
My review of Dracula just went up today. I thought it was visually stunning, and there were some very unexpected sequences in it. But overall, I feel like it treads a lot of the same ground as you would expect. Although it sets the story in Paris, it is a very French film. But if you like The Fifth Element, you'll probably like Dracula.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's
I like
not-
the period vibes. I saw him and I was like, he's kind of cute. Let's go for it.
There's another thing that's kind of happening right now where it's like the Frankenstein coming out and the other, it's like the hot
Gothic
classic
horror revival.
It's like gothic, but it's
Yeah.
got like a sexy vibe to it. Like I feel like that's really in fashion right now.
Yeah.
It's always been my taste.
Hot monster.
Hot monsters, yeah. Yeah.
All right, when I was glitching out there, did I miss anybody else who... Did we go from Aaron to Tony and
I think
Elise?
we've just done Aaron and then us.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, that's where we're at.
No worries. I thought this episode was going to be much more conversational as we just talk about what we're excited about, but want to make sure everybody gets a chance to plug who they are and what they're doing as well.
Yeah.
So let's go. David, welcome back to the show.
Yep, thank you. Just for me, for what I try to do is this year is going to be, I'm going to be focusing mostly on my show with years that end in 6. So that way I can next year do a kind of top like 100 of everything that I've watched since starting the podcast to kind of break it down that way. It gives me a little bit interesting look at the decades as I go all the way back to 1926 and then watch as many movies as I can in that amount of time. So that's kind of what this year is going to be looking like for me. And for a new release coming out, I'm not sure when, because I know this got pulled and it's supposed to be coming out a little bit later. And I saw this at a film festival 2 years ago. But Dooba Dooba, if you like found footage films, this one is weird and wild. And I really hope this ends up coming out this year just because it's going to be very polarizing. I'm going to say that right now. But how different this thing and it does, because the whole basis of this, if people don't know, is that I think she might be in college. She goes to babysit this girl that is a teenager, but she has some emotional problems, and her family has these cameras all around the house that catches most of the footage. And she ends up trying to see if she can sneak out of the house to go off with this, with her boyfriend, and things just kind of get weird and off the rails from there as the parents show back up, and just weird things that they intercut with that one. So that is one I would say to kind of keep on your radar, especially if you like found footage.
I'll hear great things about that one.
Yeah, me too. There's a lot of buzz I've heard recently. I've seen some reviews popping up about it. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
This was the first I've heard of it, but I'm glad you put it on my radar.
Awesome title, right? Dooba Dooba.
I saw something about it being
Sounds like
kept
something you
throwing names like that.
shouldn't say. Go ahead.
it was supposed to come out actually, I think this month, but it's or next month,
thought it
but
was
it's been
January,
shelved for like quote for unquote for a good reason. So I'm not sure what that's all about.
Oh,
Right.
I bet.
I
Eli
thought,
Roth.
is that just
Eli
like a
Roth is
marketing
probably
thing?
taking it on.
No, I think David was alluding to that he was saying it was like polarizing. Is
Oh.
that correct, David?
Yeah. The movie, I just think people are either going to love it because it's found footage and just kind of how they do it, or they're just going to be like, it's weird. I don't like it. So I kind of think so I'm kind of curious to see if they ever release why they're shelving it and what that good reason is, unless it's just to try to create buzz for it. I mean, if that's the case, I hope that works out for them, because I think that'd be pretty cool, especially if it gets more people to see it.
Yeah, definitely.
Right on.
All right. I think I'm going to interject here. Let's see if I can show it. What I'm looking forward to is this release, not those ads.
That was wonderful.
So this, I don't know if you can
gosh.
see it. The Abbott and Costello horror collection on 4K from Kino Lorber. All right. I don't know. This is what I was raised on. So our Halloweens, mom would bring home Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein, Abbott and Costello, Meet Jekyll and Hyde, all those movies. This is what we were raised on. Last year, about a year ago in February, Kino Lorber announced they were doing that film or that horror collection specifically. And they said it was supposed to be available in the fall of last year, and then it wasn't. So, and I can't find any more news on it, but I'm really looking forward to it becoming available this year. It's my hope. I don't know why it was delayed, but there's one movie in this set called Hold That Ghost, where it was one of Abbott and Costello's first films, and they're working at a bar. They end up having a gangster die in their car, and his will says that whoever is near him at the time of death inherits his mansion. And they go, and it's like this haunted mansion, and he supposedly has money in this haunted mansion. And so they're looking for his money, but there's also gangsters looking for the money as well. And the mansion may or may not be haunted. And it's just a fantastic old horror comedy that I grew up on. It has a special place in my heart. I'm really looking forward to that. And also, Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein is just a stone cold classic. And to have that available on 4K, let alone Blu-ray, because Hold That Ghost is hard to find. Hold That Ghost had a DVD release, no Blu-ray release, and I grew up watching it on VHS, but I never saw it on Blu-ray. Most of the collections don't have that one, so to see it in this set, I don't know why it got delayed. It was supposed to be fall of last year. I don't know why it's delayed, but Kino Lorber, I'm like, I have money put away to throw at you as soon as that link goes live. I'm waiting. I check weekly, but that's me.
Nice.
It'll happen, Tim. You'll get there.
It's like the Halloween set from Umbrella. Maybe we'll get it. Maybe we won't.
Someday.
And who knows what it'll be.
Let's have Vince.
Oh boy, this is a big year for us. We just had an entire rebrand done by Ryan Carr, whose artwork you may have seen in Storm King Comics, the amusement park adaptation, or Creep Show. He just did a run with Ted Raimi. He's done Tales for a Halloween Night with Storm King Comics, so he just redid our key artwork. We are launching a series of horror history courses, or a horror history course, and then a horror theory course to follow over on our Patreon, then available for purchase after that. And we're just continuing with partnerships with as many anybody who wants to partner with us, really, but bringing you a lot of screeners, revisiting the old classics, unearthing those, and bringing you reviews of new stuff. So a lot of exciting stuff over here. We're also focused on our podcast. We have a lot of cool guests that are in the can already, some new guests coming up, and we're bringing my wife back on as co-host, Sarah. Stay spooky, Sarah. Shout out if you're watching. I think you're over in the other room watching. Her channel is part of the Dread Alert Media Network, and she's doing a lot of the same stuff I'm doing, reviewing old films and new films. But she's coming back on the podcast to do some deep dives into some films that we really love. The first one she's going to be on is You're Next. We love that film. They Live is coming up in the pipeline. We're going to have some guests coming on to talk about The Descent. So a lot of exciting stuff out of us. And I'm very tired with our newborn and our toddler, but we feel that horror is a great way to explore the fears that we have as a society, a great projector screen, if you will. And I think there's a lot that maybe there is to fear out there as a society, no matter what your views are. So I think horror is a very important thing right now, and we're looking to be a small part of the bigger horror community that's making that accessible to people. What I'm looking forward to this year, outside of all the cool stuff I just mentioned, the unnamed Jordan Peele film. The Mortuary Assistant looks amazing. I know that's based on a video game that I did not play, so I'm coming in spoiler free. Good. Hokum looks great. And I'm really excited for you all to see Dolly. I saw it as part of Fantastic Fest last year, and I don't know. I think it has legs as a slasher trilogy. I don't know that Dolly themselves is as marketable as, say, like an Art the Clown, but I think that movie has the ability to launch the prequel that they've already written and subsequent films. It's gnarly, it's awkward, it's very uncomfortable, and the Dolly figure is quite imposing. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
I think you can rent it now. I think Amazon has it. I think you can rent it.
That's a film that I would actually rewatch, and I don't get an opportunity to rewatch a lot outside of
right now.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It is just what they put poor Stifler through.
Stifler.
You can rent it on Prime for $2.
Oh my goodness,
$2. That's a deal.
Awesome.
The best $2 you'll spend all year. I swear.
This movie, right, Dolly?
Ooh.
I rented Dorothea for $5.
I like that cover.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah. Creepy looking.
Ethan Suplee is in it. If you're a Boy Meets World fan from back in the day,
yeah.
It's a heck of a cast. And Dolly's played by a professional wrestler, so I mean,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you said they're planning a trilogy for this?
Yeah, as far as I am aware, in their press materials, they said they have a sequel, which is a prequel already written, and they're just hoping to get it pumped out. And so go support this so they can make that next film too.
I might have found what I'm doing after this. So
yeah, it's a fun watch. Just make sure it's 2025. I don't know if there's another Dolly out there, but yeah.
It has what Aaron showed us on it. So yeah, 2025 looks right.
But the link takes you to Horror Anthology Volume 2.
That's the $1.99 rental.
It might be a mistake. Let me double check.
Yeah. It looks like it's hitting theaters in a limited release in March, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Check out the trailer though. After this, it's a fun minute and a half.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
So,
yeah,
awesome. All right, Alex and Stephanie, 13 Degrees of Screams. Welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I found out my mic stopped working this whole time, and I just fixed it. Sorry about that. Stephanie's like, "You're muted." I'm like, "No, I'm not." So anyway, some things we're excited for this year. So actually, a little over a year ago, we started doing YouTube. We used to just be a podcast only. So we're going to be planning our 100th video special. So we're excited about that. We're going to have a huge collab with people. So I guess plug if you are interested in being a part of that. But we're in the very early stages of planning for that. But otherwise, just continuing having other collaborators on our channel. Aaron actually joined us for Candyman we did once. So that was awesome. A lot of fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And then, yeah, it was a lot of fun. So check out that if you haven't. And then another thing, when we first started the podcast, we covered non-horror movies, but still were like horror adjacent. So we used to do themed seasons like Ghost. So we covered like Casper, the movie Ghost. And we kind of strayed away from that, but we want to bring that back a little bit. So we're kind of restructuring how we want to cover horror aspects in non-horror movies. So that's another series we're looking to launch.
We love touching like kids movies that have like that creepy vibe. Like The Watership Down was sort of like geared as a kids movie and
traumatizing.
Like, yeah, there's bunnies murdering each other like within 15 minutes. So
yeah.
And like I just told him like we're gonna do We're Back, a Dinosaur Story, because there's that creepy grandpa guy at the end that has a screw eye and the crows eat him. So that's also terrifying.
Yeah.
My wife had never seen Never Ending Story, and I showed her that one, and I was like, if you want to talk about childhood trauma and also just this terrifying nothing that is coming to take you away, like, yeah, I love it.
I didn't care about the nothing. I was just more worried about Artax.
Artax,
Artax, man.
My heart, bro, my heart.
Too soon.
Artax, no.
The swamps of sadness got him.
Yes. Something Wicked This Way Comes is a great film.
Yeah.
I think it's a Disney film. That's a great
film. It's a great
Ray Bradbury.
Ray Bradbury, yeah, it's a great book.
It's a good
based
book.
on Ray. Yeah. The movie.
Speaking of freaky kids movies, though, they've got Pinocchio Unstrung coming out sometime this year.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really twisted, and it kind of. I like the weird twisted kid stuff. So I mean, you've already got like your kind of messed up. What was it? Pooh Bear and Popeye.
I think it's in the Pooniverse.
Pooniverse. Yes, that sounds so bad. So many ways you can take that.
I heard Bambi came out too. I haven't seen that one. Yeah,
Bambi was awesome.
It was awesome. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Was it?
It was fun.
Yeah. And there was Peter Pan.
Yes, I heard
that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Bambi
really
had no
good.
business
Check that out.
being that good.
No, it's not. No.
Do they have any business being any good? Like, do any of them?
I love the slow-mo chase scene in Bambi. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
So
I need to see
did
Bambi.
shed a tear during that.
So yeah, there's a lot to look forward to as far as movies, but what I'm looking forward to is not a movie. It's actually a video game. I'm still waiting for Hellraiser Revival to come out. It was supposed to come out like late last year, but still doing whatever they're doing, and it looks amazing, and I want to play that game so bad. I don't know if you guys are into horror video games.
I've seen the trailer for it, we don't really like play video games that often, but it looked awesome. It looked really cool.
Oh, I can't wait to see how twisted it is. The anticipation. I'm like, come on, hurry up.
Wait, I got distracted by the comment about Terrifier 4. What?
Yes.
I'm so sorry, Jonathan. What were you talking about?
You're good. Go for it. Yeah.
A Hellraiser video game.
Okay, sorry. I saw the comment about Terrifier 4, and then I didn't hear about Hellraiser the video game. Okay.
It's all right. Okay. Alex and Stephanie, what were you looking forward to this year?
Yeah, out of the things that weren't already mentioned, I'm actually kind of interested in Flower Vale Street.
And you can talk about things that were mentioned too.
Oh, okay.
Bring it up. We're talking about it.
Well, Scream 7. I'm a huge Scream fan. I like them all. Evil Dead Burn. Super excited for. So I was excited for Silent Hill because I am a huge Silent Hill apologist, for, like the original, but I've just heard not great things from anybody, so I don't know if anyone has seen it yet. I still kind of want to watch it, so I'm excited to potentially see that.
I saw it. I know some people that I've seen complain that had issues with it is that its basis is obviously like Silent Hill 2, and I didn't get too far into playing that one just for whatever reason. I thought it was okay. Like I enjoyed my time enough with it. I just have some issues with some of like the tropes that they use where I'm like, okay, we've seen this done elsewhere and just better. But I mean, I thought it was at least worth the time to check it out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably still see it just because I'm a fan, but I'm just a little weary now. But maybe since the bar is so low for me, maybe I'll just like it because I'm just expecting absolute garbage. But I think I'll still have a good time with it.
We were also looking forward to Hokum as well. That was mentioned. Werewolf. I don't know if anyone mentioned that one.
No, but I was going to. But you go ahead. I'm excited for that movie.
I just watched the trailer today. I thought it looked awesome, and I know Alex was excited for it as well. Also, we were looking. Oh, go ahead.
Already?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if it was kind of just like spliced together with like other stuff though. It might have been one of those.
Is the werewolf sexy?
I'm gonna assume so.
Isn't it played by Aaron Taylor Johnson? I don't think we have a choice. Like, yeah.
Okay, because it's continuing with this, this theme of the classic universal monsters that are
it kind of has to
this
be,
massive
right?
sex appeal to them.
Another one we were excited for was the sequel to Ready or Not. I don't know how everyone feels about that, but we really loved it. Like, especially the second time we watched it for some reason, and just that family is like so chaotic and funny, like the killing family, obviously, and get their heads blown off at the end, and then I guess there's more of them. So
yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes because the way they ended Ready or Not was so much fun and such a it was whiplash, going into it, and then the ending hits and I'm laughing hysterically. And I just wonder where can you surprise us with Ready or Not 2? Where can you bring that element into it? Because they had me with the first one, but I'm very interested in the sequel.
And they even got the kids like running down the hallway. You can hear them like pop their heads pop at the out of the room. So I was like, it's going for generations. So
spoiler alerts, but it's an old movie. So
yeah, sorry.
Yes.
But they also are releasing one that's called They Will Kill You. And that's coming out in like the end of March. And I was like, this feels like Ready or Not. Like, woman gets hired as a maid in a hotel. Guess what? It's a temple to Satan. And she's an offering. And I was like, oh, like Ready or Not. But maybe it'll be okay. I mean, she looks like she's going to be a real badass for fighting everybody off. So
good title.
Yeah, true.
Creepy.
I kind of just real quick, like I kind of felt that way about Send Help. That it's like, did Sam Raimi see Triangle of Sadness? Because there's some very similar things going on there. I don't know if any of you guys have seen Triangle of Sadness, but
it's like Triangle of Sadness, but in the horror world.
Yeah.
So maybe they didn't have overlapping audiences. I don't know, but it was still enjoyable. I enjoyed it.
I've seen praise for Sam Raimi's new film, Send Help. That was it.
It was really fun.
Going tomorrow. I can't wait.
Okay, I've seen praise. I want to see it. It looked good. It looked different. I throwing this out there. You mentioned Werewolf. I'm super excited for that one. Before that is the Mike Flanagan. I'm a nerd. I have Batman behind me on the wall. So the Matt Flanagan penned Clayface movie coming out later this year.
That looks good.
I am super excited, which is probably bad. I probably should lower those expectations with how superhero movies have been in theaters, but it's Mike Flanagan, so he wrote it. I know he's not directing it, but he still writes really good stuff, and he has mentioned basing it on the 90s animated series that was superb, and kind of being inspired by that and The Fly. So putting those elements into it, you have a concoction that I am really excited to see where this goes, where Mike Flanagan takes Clayface inspired by the Fly movie. So that's thrilling to me. That's a winning combination. I just hope it's good.
Same.
Yes, he is.
Oh, we just thought of another one.
Yeah.
So Obsession, the new Curry Barker. I think that's
Yes.
his name, Curry Barker. So he's done like YouTube horror shorts, and there was one last year, a couple years ago, that was called Milk and Cereal. That was amazing. And so now he's gotten some money to make a full length. It's called Obsession. And yes, anyone heard anything? Any buzz or anything?
Comes out
Oh yeah, the
mid-May.
trailer. The
Really?
trailer they've been
Trailers.
showing in the theaters. It looks great.
I just looked it up because I had put it on my list and I was like, wait, it says it came out in 2025 though. So maybe they're just talking about like what they released to the festivals or
Yeah, usually like the
Oh,
festival release.
probably. Yeah, the
yeah.
festival
But the
release.
trailer looks awesome. Sounds like it'll be really creepy.
Yeah.
So there's another movie that I wanted to plug, and that is called Body Cam. If you're a fan of Brandon Christensen, who Night of the Reaper, his film just came out on Shudder.
I love that one.
2025. His new film, Body, and he also did Z, Superhost, Puppet Man. I think they're all on Shudder. Body Cam is about these two police officers, and it records through their body cam. They go to a house call. Things go very wrong. There's some supernatural elements to it, and it's shot in kind of like a found footage, real time style, and it's awesome. I loved it. That's coming out in a month or two.
That sounds awesome.
Anyone else has seen it yet?
Yeah, I got
Have
to
you
catch
seen
it at a
it?
film festival. I really liked it too.
Yes, it's so
Yeah.
good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So good.
I swear, David and Aaron, you guys watch so many movies. I'm sure some of you others out there, but I know Aaron and David the best, but I don't know how you do it. I don't have time to watch all these movies. I'm jealous. David posts a movie review like two times a day. I swear, you probably get one in before breakfast, don't you?
Multitaskers of the highest order.
Well, Aaron, speaking of the movie that you just mentioned, the other one that I was kind of thinking about, it's already been released, but Night Patrol, that's like the new Justin Long, and it's like cops, and they're like a
haven't
secret
seen it, though.
society of
Vampires.
vampires. Yeah. So I was
Is it
curious
good?
about that one too. We haven't been able to see it. I think it did get a limited release
Was
in
it
our area.
released?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
But it's probably out of theaters. The limited releases, they're in the theater for maybe a week, maybe two if you're lucky.
Yeah.
But
If Netflix has their way with it, even less.
we actually recently dropped Netflix. We are protesting Netflix. So we didn't really see, like, we had to go to a theater to see Frankenstein actually.
But you
only
saw it.
On the
You
big
saw it the
screen.
superior way.
We saw it on the big
That's
screen. Yeah.
awesome.
And
Yeah,
was
we-
it fantastic on the big screen?
It was beautiful. I can't say it was my favorite.
Was
I
the
loved
monster
the
hotter on the
second
big screen?
chapter.
Oh yeah, so hot. He was
It was very hot and glorious.
yeah.
Yeah, his version, his chapter 2 was wonderful.
Yeah, the chapter 2 was wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone posted a figure of Frankenstein from the movie, the Netflix movie, yesterday, and I first thought it was Gautier from his music video. Oh my god! The painting. Quite funny.
Just a
We
monster
used to
that
know
you
in
used
many
to know.
parts.
Yeah, I think my
What's the
comment
next
really confused her.
So now what they need to do is they need to reboot the Abbott and Costello into this new like hot classic monsters, and then make Abbott and Costello
Hot.
also like super
Very
hot. Yeah.
hot.
So
Yes.
what I saw was it Key and Peele are talking about doing Key and Peele meet Frankenstein. Doing
I
that.
think I heard about that.
That would
Yeah.
be super absurd, but probably funny as hell.
Yeah, and it's being called the modern like Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, and I'm here for
I
it.
would be here for it.
When was the last time we had a great horror comedy like that? We've had great horror comedies, but not ones that really use those known Frankenstein like characters. You know,
Yeah.
I'm ready for that. That'd be so much fun. And we get the return of this scary movie franchise this year, don't we?
One number 7.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been what, over a decade since 6?
Too long.
And are the Wayans brothers coming back for that one, or more involved? Because I don't know if they were super involved in the last one. I think Elise and I tried putting it on number 5 or something, and it was like it was not watchable.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Scary Movie
But I
6.
think the Wayans brothers are coming back for this one. So
I
Yeah.
think
so
they are.
They're listed as producers,
Yeah, I think they're coming.
Marlon and Sean.
I know we're running out of time, but Insidious 6 is coming in August, and Lynn Shay is back, so I'm count me in
Schnitzel.
for that. Resident Evil, apparently in September, that Zach Kreger is doing, from what I looked up. And
Which
one
that
more-
scares me. That scares me. Zach Kreger. I love Zach Kreger. I love.
It is an
both-
odd match, right?
I love both of his films, but him doing a licensed film, hitting a licensed property, that always scares me because
like you're
sometimes.
worried it's like a paycheck movie.
Well, he has been very clear about like he's passionate about that. He enjoys Resident Evil, but I was just worried about kind of like what Chad was talking about. Like once you get more people in, there's stipulations and things you can't do, and so how much of it will he be hand tied, and how much of it, or will they be like, hey Zach, people love Barbarian, people love weapons, go for it. You know, I hope it's fantastic. I want it to be fantastic. But Kreger touching a licensed product scares me. So
The strength of his movies were the unique narrative structure. So I wonder what he can do within that universe with his own style, honestly.
I'm definitely curious. It's definitely one I will check out, but I'm apprehensive. Just like Scream 7, I'm very apprehensive about Scream 7. I know we've floated that one around.
Yeah.
Because I was loving what they were doing with Melissa Barrera's character. I thought having this thread of like her dad is a killer and she could snap at any moment and become one herself. I thought that was super fascinating. I thought it really was a different trajectory than Sydney. Very unique character that is connected to those core characters. And I thought that was really fascinating. And now we're just leaving that story and going back to Sydney. And that makes me nervous. Doesn't mean it won't be good. It just feels abrupt. But it is Kevin Williamson's directorial debut. And I want to believe in him. Come on. You've written great stuff. I want to believe it's going to be good. So,
Really?
I'm
He's
concerned
never
that
directed?
I don't think he's ever directed. I thought I read that this is he's written a lot,
Yeah, that's crazy.
but this is his directorial debut.
I'm concerned that there's going to be an abundance of fan service, and I'm not sure how it will land. I like being serviced. Don't get me wrong, but
Careful.
Don't we all?
I'm concerned with how it's going to land. Honestly, if it's done
Yeah.
in a way that is narratively appropriate, I'm here for it. But you know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll see it.
I mean, he's written great stuff. The
Yeah.
Scream franchise, The Faculty is a fantastic movie. I actually really enjoyed Sick from a couple years
Yeah,
ago.
Sick was good.
Same.
Yeah.
Sick was
Okay,
good.
apparently he has directed Teaching Mrs. Tingle. I don't know if anyone saw that with Helen Mirren
I
Oh,
did-
okay.
from 99.
I
Okay.
didn't want to say it. I was on the tip of my tongue. I was like, you're probably wrong about that. But yeah,
Well, I mean, that was a long time ago. So it is like his directorial debut in like a quarter of a century.
And was Teaching Miss Tingle horror?
It
Yeah.
was like
The poster
teen
looks like
horror.
creepy, yeah.
Yeah, like
Teen
high
horror.
school horror.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm give him a shot. Give him a shot. I wanna believe it's gonna be good.
I have 3 more. Can I just jump in quickly? I'm excited for Whistle next week. I think it's next week. Undertone looks scary as hell. I think that's coming out in a few months. And Other Mommy, I don't know a lot about it. I think it's coming out in October, and I believe it's a James Wan film.
Oh,
the book that's based on is called Incidents Around the House, and it is one of the books that got the most under my skin in a very long time.
that was
So
Josh Mallerman, right?
Josh Mallerman,
Yeah.
yeah. Honestly, one of the people I've been like desperate to get on our podcast. That book is just the character of Other Mommy is so upsetting as a parent, and the rest of the interpersonal drama in that book was just so heavy. And it's told through the eyes of a 10-year-old girl. At least the book is. I cannot recommend Incidents Around the House enough. And if Stephen Graham Jones wasn't pumping out books every year, that would have been my number one of last year.
I really love Josh Mallerman's Daphne book. I
Mhm.
thought Daphne was fantastic. I know he's written a bunch, but I enjoyed
I
that
just
one.
bought that book today.
Yeah, I
Daphne.
really enjoyed Daphne. So I need to read Incidents Around the House, apparently.
It's unnerving. It's just upsetting. Yeah.
Do we need to talk about...
You have until October to read it.
We got plenty of time. Do we need to talk about Undertone?
Oh my God. I can't wait to see that movie.
I just saw the trailer. I know nothing else about it.
I know
Why
nothing.
should we be excited about it other than the trailer?
Because
just a
TikTok
snippet?
told us to.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah.
I saw it. I saw my brain rot app.
A lot of people that I'm social with on that app have seen it at film festivals and have said it is just it's a great film, and I trust their opinion, so I've been super hyped for it.
The trailer looks fantastic, so I am curious about it. I do try to go into most movies knowing nothing.
Yeah.
So I'll usually watch the first trailer, see if it appeals to me, and then I don't want to see anything else, because usually by the time the third trailer's out, there's some kind of spoiler in there that ruins it. Like Companion is a perfect example.
Oh,
Yes.
it's awful. Yeah. Second
Yeah.
trailer, third trailer are big spoilers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awful.
So I usually just watch one and then don't tell me anything else. I want to wait and experience it myself.
Yeah.
Alex and I just talked about that on a recent episode. Like, give me 30 seconds to a minute tops. Like, I don't want to know that much. Like, just yeah.
Let me vibe check it.
Yeah.
Teasers are always really good. Yeah.
Actually, just show me like your Pinterest board for it, and then I'll kind of know the vibe.
Yeah.
Maybe the log line, and we'll move on. Yeah.
Aaron, you mentioned the James Wan film. Is he directing that one?
I don't know. I know he's attached to it. I'm not sure if he's the director.
Because I know last I heard he was working on directing, he was doing Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Is he sexy?
As his probably it's it's gotta fit the modern theme.
We need to know.
Sexy
Okay,
Gilmore.
no, he's not.
Guillermo del Toro already did the sexy Creature from the Black Lagoon.
He did. He did.
Oh my gosh.
Which
It's
makes sense
Rob
that he would
Savage.
do the sexy Frankenstein.
Yes.
Rob Savage, who did Host and The Boogeyman.
Yeah,
Oh.
you're right.
So the next thing that Juan is directing is The Call of Cthulhu.
Sign me up.
That is what's on his list.
Is that going to be sexy?
Only for certain people.
They're really to take Bill Nighy's character from Pirates of the Caribbean and
Go there, seduce me some tentacles.
Davy Jones.
Starting a new podcast. Is it sexy?
Yeah.
Amazing.
This is sexy. The horror
I think you're
edition.
onto
I love it.
something. James Wan produced it, but he did not direct it. So he's
Okay.
attached to it as a producer.
Has anyone heard of? So Elise and I saw a movie at a festival that we really enjoyed last year, and we're not sure if it got a release, but it's called The Red Mask.
Did anyone hear of this or see this?
It's
No,
sort of
I
like a
don't think it's
meta
been released
slasher,
yet.
I would say.
Yeah.
In to compare it to like all of the Scream reboots, I was like, this is actually like what I want Scream to be, more so than the Scream sequels.
So we won't say anything, but keep an ear out for The Red Mask, because we saw it last October at a festival, and it was great. And I thought that it would, maybe it didn't get distribution.
Yeah, maybe. Well, maybe it'll get like a video on demand release
Yeah.
or something like that. But if you, we enjoyed that. If you,
So we'll say
hear anything
nothing
about
but the
that-
title, The Red Mask.
Yeah, The Red Mask.
Look,
That is a good one. I don't think it has gotten distribution yet, or
Did you
it
see
hasn't
it?
come out. Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
right? Yeah. It's
Nice.
good.
Yeah, and we haven't heard anything. So I know sometimes it takes a couple of years
Yeah.
even for it to get picked up. But
Yeah, there's not much showing up on IMDb for it either.
Dang.
But also coming up is, speaking of those reboots of classics, we have The Mummy from Lee Cronin coming up.
yes,
And
that's right.
that trailer was intriguing.
Yeah.
That's, again, if I'm going off that first trailer, I'm showing up at the theater. So I'm leaving it there. It definitely looks better than the Tom Cruise iteration.
What's interesting though is it doesn't seem to be produced by Universal, so I'm wondering how much of the classic Mummy we're going to see in this film. Now, I think it looks really exciting, but I don't know what to expect with it, and maybe that's a good thing.
I
It's
would-
WB, or at least through the PR company that I was working with on that trailer release. It was WB who was at the helm of the campaign.
that would make sense because it's Atomic Monster. It's
Mhm.
Blumhouse. So that, and I guess technically the title is Lee Cronin's The Mummy, not The Mummy. So,
And so I don't think it's going to be sexy because it's not maybe the traditional mummy.
Pass.
Yeah.
if he doesn't wake up with abs, I'm out.
Yeah,
I don't want to see it.
The reveal when the wraps come off is just a six pack.
He's got a six pack.
Yeah.
He's been working out in the grave.
Yeah.
No, this mummy, just looking at the trailer on my other screen, does not look sexy at all.
Yeah.
It looks freaky though. It looks satisfyingly freaky.
That's a miss. Then they missed out.
Yeah, didn't get the memo, right?
Missed the opportunity.
To be fair, it shouldn't be. I believe the mummy is a girl named Katie. So like, just state that it shouldn't be sexy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're not dealing with.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Test screenings for the mummy were rough.
I heard that as well.
Yeah, we're not dealing with the mummy from the Brendan Fraser
Yes.
universe, which was
And Left to the Moon, I think their girl's name was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those movies are fantastic. The first one is
Yeah, they're
an
fun.
icon.
Always.
All right. Well, this has been a fun chat. Do you have any others that you want to shout out? I know we've got a lot coming up. I just kind of wanted to hit on things we're looking forward to, biggest ones of the year. I know we did mention the Evil Dead movie coming up. I don't know much about that one, but Evil Dead
Yeah.
Burn.
I will see whatever Evil Dead they want to pump out at me. I'm here for it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Is it the same director returning for that one?
No, it's the director who did Infested, the French director with all the effing spiders.
Sebastian
I think that's
Fennick.
going to be awesome. I
That
love
is
that
awesome.
spider movie.
Lee Cronin is busy doing the mummy, so
Yeah, so he,
Yeah.
he can't do it. Okay.
I'm psyched.
yeah, totally.
All right. Well, if you don't have anything else to shout out, what you're looking forward to, go ahead. This is your last chance. Okay. Last thing I'm looking forward to, I got a shameless plug. I'm editing my third book. So
Yeah.
Summer
Yeah.
Camp 1983. This is supposed to be the first in a series. I've written 90% of the sequel and I hate it, so I'm gonna have to redo the whole sequel. Gonna have to just go back to the beginning because it wasn't. I got to the climax and it's not working. But hopefully, going back, I'm editing this one. I like to get my copy printed so I can actually write in it and scratch things out. It's way more satisfying and just the writing process is better that way. Or type it, print it, and then put my chicken scratches all over it. But that one should be coming out in April. It's my love letter to summer camp slashers and Scooby-Doo.
Nice.
So
What's
yeah,
it called again?
it's Summer Camp 1983.
Oh, nice.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
So-
awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Keep us
so
on your
I did
media
the
list for that.
I
see
do the
they got a
cover.
dog, so yeah, definitely Scooby Doo.
I do the cover myself. I do it all myself just because
Awesome.
I do it for fun, not for anything else.
So
So
let Tim fool you. He's a very talented artist. We both graduated from art school together.
yeah,
Yeah,
we,
wow.
Good stuff. Lots of good stuff. In this
we
guy.
did. That's how we met. You're in
Yep.
Texas and I'm in Indiana, but we went to school together in Chicago. So, but yep.
That's awesome.
So I'm looking forward to that
Congrats.
coming out in
That's
April.
cool,
Hopefully,
man. I'm happy for you.
It's-
Congrats, man.
I'm really excited about it, which means it's either going to be a terrible read for people or it will be good. So usually like I loved it, which means it might just go over people's head and not make sense. So we'll see. But yeah, that's it. All of you, I'm going to go through. Let's go ahead and you can shout out your channels, what you've got coming up. I know we talked about what we've got coming up this year, but give it like, hey, next week, check out our video this. You can do that, where people can find you and all of that. Again, thank you all so much for taking time to be here and hang out with us. So we'll start at the top and we'll work our way down to, sorry, David, you're at the end there. But Aaron, Kick us off.
Yeah, well, I already talked about what's coming up, so I won't go through that again. But I will say, well, first, thank you for having me. I love being on the Dread broadcast. You guys are awesome. Let's see, I'll come back anytime. You can find me on YouTube, A&B Horror Movies, as well as Instagram. Also, Aaron's Movies 8587, where I share my love of physical media and my collectibles, and I geek out a little bit with horror movies. And that's where you can find me. Thanks again for having me.
Just a little bit, not much.
Just a little bit, yes.
All right, Vince, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. This was a blast. This is my first time here. I had an excellent time.
You're welcome back anytime.
That's awesome. I am the editor-in-chief of Dread Alert Media. Next week, to celebrate the iconic George Romero's birthday, we're going to be doing a review of Two Evil Eyes, and I will be releasing a behind-the-scenes tour of Monroeville Mall that we took in October. We went to the security areas, the back stairwell. I'll try and give as brief of a tour as I can for TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts, but we're also on YouTube for our video podcast and anywhere you get your audio podcasts.
Awesome. Jonathan. No, I'm just kidding. We can go to Alex.
Shout it out loud. Plug yourself.
Alex, well, here, I should do this because you two are on the same show. There you go. Alex and Stephanie.
Yeah, next week we have actually a kind of different episode for us. I put together a Rotten Tomatoes quiz for Stephanie. I'll be reading bad movie reviews, and she has to guess what the movie is. So that's like something different we do every once in a while.
That sounds nice. I like that. Awesome.
Yeah, we did it last year, so we're gonna do it again. We have Hard Eyes coming out right before Valentine's Day, and we just did a collab with Kadra from Perplexity, if anyone knows Perplexity. So that's what we got.
We had a great discussion on Us from Jordan Peele, and almost an hour long. She brings just as much information to the episode as we did. So we were like, I didn't know you were going to do a bunch of research for it, but it's awesome, and we have tons to talk about.
That's awesome. Who comes up with your emoji guessing games on Instagram for your movies?
That's me.
That's you? Okay.
Yeah.
You can find that. Those are so much fun. If you're not following these guys on Instagram, you do a guess the movie where you do a grid of emojis, and it's a ton of fun trying to figure out what the movies are about. I love those. That's great stuff.
Thank you.
All right. Where can people find you?
YouTube. Mainly YouTube we push, but you can find us literally anywhere you get podcasts if you just want to listen to the audio.
Okay. All right, Tony and Elise, welcome back to the show. This is your second time. Love having you with us.
Yes, thank you so much.
It was a blast.
Yeah, we love being here, so thank you for having us back. Yes, we are the Gutted Horror Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, all those audio podcasts. We've been on a slight hiatus, but we are trying to get back into it, and we have some trailer reviews coming up. We are also preparing for our sort of annual. It'll be our second time doing our Gash ceremony, which is our Gutted Awards for snubbed horror. Running alongside the Oscars. But actually, a lot of horror has not been snubbed this year, which is great. But we still have some that were snubbed. So we'll be reviewing our snubbed horror awards probably in March.
The Strangers for special effects.
Yes. Strangers Chapter 2. S4.
Yes, and Sexiest Monster will be a category. Yes. We're writing it in.
Sexiest Monster.
Yeah. And then we have a number of collabs that we're doing with other people. Next Wednesday, I think we're doing a live horror trivia with it's called Bloody Good Time. It's on YouTube, so you could search for that.
Oh, it's actually the 11th. So on February 11th. Okay. Yes. Oops. It's like horror trivia. It's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. We're regulars on that horror trivia, and then I don't know if it's going to come out anytime soon, but we're going to do a guest spot on Cradle to the Grave podcast with Eric Hansen, which we have been on that one multiple times as well. It's always a good time. And then we are also doing a little guest spot on Horror Hour with the Hannahs.
Yeah, they're having a Valentine's Day episode about love in horror movies. And so we're going to do a little segment for their episode, the Valentine's Day episode.
So we're not sure when those will be released, but at some point. So yeah, if you follow any of those channels, then keep an eye out for us on those.
Awesome. Great stuff. All right, and David.
For February, I like to celebrate women in horror for most of my, or for half my episodes, and the other half I also like to do, since it's also Black History Month, I try to feature women and Black directors for all of the episodes. Makes it tough for new releases since I always pair up a new and an old movie, but I try to do what I can there to get creative. Outside of that, you can find my podcast, Journey with a Cinephile, anywhere that podcast, and I also have it on YouTube as well.
Yeah. And Jonathan, do you want to say what we've got going on, or do you want me to?
No, yeah, absolutely. So come check us out at the Average Reviews. We will be streaming on Wednesday evening. We'll be going episode 3 of our 4th season for the Average, covering Brad Pitt and the Bullet Train. Awesome movie. Come check us out. Participate in the chat. We do want participation as much as possible, because without you guys, what's the point? You know, Average Reviews for social settings. Be part of it. We'd love to have your interactions.
We just did Death Spa with Aaron. That was last week. That was
it was so much fun.
That was a
oh my god,
episode.
that was awesome.
So we do we do more than horror movies, but I love horror movies, so we do a lot of those. But yeah, we're branching into some action this year. We've got some sword and sorcery stuff from the 80s coming up. So I think we're doing Willow, Masters of the Universe. I think David's joining us for Masters of the Universe.
Yes.
Kelsi, who was supposed to be here, is joining us for Willow, and we're going to compare the novelization to the movie. So I purchased that because her thing is books too. So we're going to talk that.
And martial arts May.
Nope, we've got martial arts films.
So we got some great fight films going on in May.
And then I'm looking forward to our summer camp slasher series, where we do The Burning and then all 3 of sleepaway camps.
Fuck yes! I love sleepaway camp.
We're doing those. That's what we've got coming up this year. But next week we're doing a little bit action movie detour with Bullet Train, and we're looking.
Any Rennie Harlan episode?
Not yet. Not yet. No. All right, but I think that's it. Again, I can't thank you all enough for coming out, hanging out with us, and hopefully you had a good time. I had a good time. I just look forward to hanging out and chatting every month and getting to know all of you a little bit better. And hopefully you're sticking out with us. We're fine now. So that's all I've got, you guys.
Yep, Tim, your sound cut out.
Oh, I think that's a wrap.
There we go.
We'll see you all next month.
Have a good one.